I'd like to tell you a bit about MGA Consulting Ghana Limited, and then I'm happy to tell you that MGA Consulting is the reason why we are having our webinar today, and we are an indigenous consulting firm, and then capacity building firm looking at helping organizations and then equipping them to also come up and be strong as well. Thank you all. And then we provide HR solutions for our clients, or if you want research development, anything that you want in terms of consultancy, MGA is always ready to help you. Don't forget that we are the overall best business promotion and consultancy service organization. We were awarded by the Association of Ghana Industries in the Ghana Industry and Quality Awards in 2024. This achievement reflects our commitment to delivering excellence in our services across all areas of consultancy services. Once again, I would like to introduce to you our host, and he's in the person of Michael Abiu. Let me tell you something about Michael Abiu, the CEO of this same organization that is making this possible. And Michael Abiu is an accomplished enterprise development, marketing, and strategy expert. He is a seasoned trainer. I believe many of you may have sat in his training, and then you can attest to the fact that you won't miss his trainings for anything. And he's also a sales and marketing expert, a business development, and then leadership development and customer service excellence person. He's also into organizational development, strategy development, and market research developer. He's currently the president of the Ghana Institute. He's currently the president and then the governing council of the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana. He has an MPhil both in entrepreneurship and corporate strategy from the Methodist University, and then business administration from the KNUST. He's a lecturer at the Methodist University and the Ghana Insurance College as well. He's a fellow of directors Institute of Directors Ghana. He's a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Leadership and Governance Council. He's also the board director for Telecel Ghana and Securus Insurance Brokers. Mr. Abiu, you are welcome.
So thank you very much, Alberta. Great to be here.
Yes. Thank you for making time for us always. Month on month, you have shown yourself here, and then you have imparted this webinar seed so well. And I know today won't be exceptional.
Yes, I'm waiting to start.
Okay, moving forward is our special guest, and then I'm happy to introduce our special guest. He's in the person of Jerome Aja, and Jerome Aja is a distinguished business consultant, entrepreneur, and sales and marketing strategist with expertise across real estate, tourism, healthcare, IT, and many more. He has designed and delivered impactful corporate sales training programs for organizations, including Gold Coast Food Group, Build Financial Technology, Resilience Personnel, and MTN. He's the founder and president of the Sales Strategist Hub, co-founder of Deed Consulting, and president of the Ghana Youth Business and Innovation Chamber. His previous roles include country manager for JetLink, business developer for Multisoft Solutions, and Jobberman. He was the marketing manager for FC Beauty Group and others as well. He's a recognized trainer, so having Jerome here is in a good place. Jerome too has been with MGA for a very long time, and he's a CIM UK certified full CIMG member and a board member of the Gold Chamber. Jerome, you are welcome to MGA Dialogue Series.
Thank you, Alberta.
We are so happy to have you here. And looking at your credentials, it tells us that you are the right bet for this conversation today. And I'm here with my books and my pen to note all the points down.
Okay, sure. Same here. I'm also here to learn from you guys as well. So I'm expecting that at the end of the session, we'll have more of a conversation instead of a one-sided session.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Following what you have said, we're expecting this conversation to be very smooth, And I want to inform you all that we are streaming live on all our platforms on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So you can't miss the conversation anywhere. Tell a friend to join, because today MJ have a very good surprise for you. And then Michael will inform you about that. So you can invite your friends to also join us via Zoom, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook as well. The session will run for 1 hour, 30 minutes, and there will be a Q&A session, just as Jerome mentioned. It's going to be very conversational, not a one-sided one. So feel free to drop your comments in the comment section. Let us know where you are sending a message from which office, from which department that you are sending your message from, and then enjoy the conversation. At this point, I don't want to waste my time because we have a lot to learn today. Therefore, I kindly hand over to Michael Abiu to take us through. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I be heard? Good afternoon
Yes.
to all of you. That's
Good
great. That is
afternoon.
great. I'm excited anytime we have this dialogue series, and Alberta and team sometimes want to have it without me. But I've told them that it's not going to happen. I want to always be here, and I'm sure that going into the future, I would always be here. The idea is for us to have a conversation around topical issues or issues we believe that we all need to have information on. We consistently try to evolve and be better for you, especially the listeners. And Alberta was saying that I'll be announcing something starting from this training. We will be issuing a certificate of participation. So please stay online. I know we only take 100 for LinkedIn, but the other platforms are there in terms of Facebook, LinkedIn, and then the YouTube. Please, if you're unable to enter this main platform, join on the other platforms. At the end of this session, we'll be giving a QR code for you to scan and basically give details, and each person that is participating in this discussion would be able to would receive a certificate. So we are going to start certifying various individuals as they participate in this dialogue series. And so don't miss out at all. Please be part of it. And as we evolve, we would be better. Also, we'll be announcing some discounts for our upcoming trainings. So don't go away. Be with us and let's have this conversation. Jerome, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I also appreciate the opportunity to be part of this session.
Yes. Jerome, over the past over 5 years now, I have told my clients that, you know what, I don't teach aggressive sales.
Yeah.
I don't teach action selling. I know these, and that's what we used to do. How do you convince a client to buy what they do not need? And that was the past. And I keep on telling my clients that, let me show you something. If you want to do action selling, find another trainer. If you want to do aggressive sales, find another trainer. However, if your motive is to be able to win over clients, and not just win over clients, but to get the client to sustain and be with you for a longer term. Now we've moved into an era of relationship selling. And this morning I want us to, delve deep. Let our audience understand the power of relationship selling. I would want you to give your initial comments, and I would tell you about my story on relationship selling. And the first time I trained on relationship selling was in Nigeria, and that's an aggressive market, and they were looking forward to a trainer that was going to teach them how to do it better.
Yeah.
And I completely changed their mindset on selling. Now, let me hear your thoughts. When we talk about relationship selling, give us what is it that we are looking at? Give your general thoughts about the subject.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. First, let me say a very big IECO to MJ Consulting for putting this monthly dialogue series together. In fact, let me say this is what the sales profession in Ghana actually needs: consistent conversation, fresh ideas, and a community that actually sharpens one another. Now, as I reflected on the topic, that is the power of relationship selling, one piece of wisdom immediately came in mind, and that is Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 24. And I quote, "A man who has friends must himself be friendly. A man who has friends must himself be friendly." Now, in sales, this is so true. Do you know why? Because people don't actually stick with you because your product is the best or your price is fair. They actually stay because even if there is a delay, or let's say a price is too high or something goes wrong, they believe that you will still show up for them and make it right. So I actually have witnessed and seen this in my whole sales career because many times it wasn't actually the product that saved the deal. It's actually the relationship. But the thing is, when it comes to relationship selling, often people think that it's about smiling and being nice to people. It goes beyond just smiling and being nice to people. It's about telling them the truth, even when it is very tough. It's about showing up when you are not even expected. It's also about proving to your client that you are not just in for their money, but you are in for their success. And today, everywhere you go, everywhere you pass, people are talking about technology. People are saying technology is changing sales. Technology will take the job from the salespeople in the years to come. Yes, we have tools like CRM, we have social media platform, we have AI emerging, we have automation, we have chatbot. You just name them. All these tools are actually designed to make work faster and also make us smarter and more efficient. But the truth is, I've been asking questions about most of this perception about how technology is going to take sales jobs away. And no one has been able to prove an answer to me because anytime I ask, has there been any invention that can replace the genuine human connection? The answer has always been no. And I remember Jeffrey once said that people don't just, want to be sold to, they love to buy. So today, I don't just want us to spend our time sharing knowledge. I am expecting that by the end of the session, we will leave here with a very simple but practical insight that will help us change the sales landscape in Ghana. So basically, this is my opening remarks for the session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jerome. Interesting thoughts that you've put there, and I think today is going to be quite interesting. More so because we are discussing a subject matter that I have, personal interest in. The first time I taught relationship selling, like I was saying, was in Nigeria, and I was just wondering, how do I get, and these were top executives of various companies. I think we had 30, heads of marketing, heads of this, heads of that, insurance, banking, trading, manufacturing, various companies. And the thought was, as a Ghanaian, as somebody who didn't understand the environment, how was I going to handle this? But when I started, I asked them a very simple question. Who are your major customers? As salespeople, who are your key customers? And then and I asked them to write them down, like 3 of them.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was clear, so we then decided, let's analyze these customers. Do they even know where your office is? They say no.
Mm.
Do they know who your MD is? No. Do they even care where your office is? They said no. So are you telling me that your top customers are doing business with you not because of those things that we hold dear, product, price, the promotions? That was not the basis. Then what was it? What is it that you think that your customers, the reason why you have these customers and you've kept them over time and the businesses have grown with you. The realization was clear.
Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
them got their major clients through relationships.
Yeah.
Now, the question then became clear. I asked them, so if you have evidence yourself that what gave you the major businesses and what made you keep the major businesses was relationship, why else would you want to use any other form but relationship?
Yeah.
But you know that we've studied a lot of things. So I want to ask you my first question, and that would be, how important is relationship selling to an organization?
Okay. So first, let me try and explain what exactly relationship with is, because oftentimes people tend to look at relationship selling from a different perspective, and in the sense that sometimes they think that relationship selling is basically about maybe knowing someone, their name, and that's all. But it goes beyond that. So relationship selling basically is about one, building trust and rapport, as well as long-term connection with client or even prospect, instead of just chasing one-time deal. So just think of it like friendship. If someone only calls you when they need something or a favor from you, how do you feel? Basically, you feel being used, right? That's exactly how customers feel when you don't have any relationship with them. If only you show up when you want to sell something to them. So think of relationship as a long-term something that you spend time to understand the customer, understand their goals, and also guide them to follow up even after you have done the deal or you have, closed the deal with them. Now, you made mention about relationship, about an experience you had where you asked a company and you notice that most of their clients are from referral based on relationship. And this actually kind of confirmed a research conducted by the Harvard Business School about some 5 years ago. And according to them, it's also observed that in the 21st century, all selling would be relationship selling. And they further explained that 85% of referral come from people who like you and feel good about you. So every salesperson should know this and must be ready to be firm and well-grounded when it comes to relationship selling. If you have long-term relationship with your client, your company, and even if your company makes a mistake, maybe let's say the delivery time, it's very late, or let's say prices are slightly higher than what the market's price is, or let's say you find yourself in a situation where in crisis, it is the quality of relationship that keeps the loyal customers close to you. So relationship selling, it's also like a crisis management tool on its own when it is being managed very well. Now, Simon Sinek once said that a bad sales meeting requires only 7 questions, meaning that every salesperson that asks 7 questions or less, it's not a very good salesperson. And he further explained that every good salesperson asks not less than 32 questions in a sales meeting. What does that mean? It means that in relationship selling, it's all about the customer. The focus basically is about the customer. You are testing the pulse of the customer, trying to identify their needs so that you'll be in a better position to tailor the needs in meeting them. And it's not supposed to just be of a one-time thing, but then it's something that it's present to you, and you look at the customer success as your success, their problem as your problem, their headache as your headache. So relationship selling itself, it's so important that one, it makes you get recurring revenue. It also kind of serves as brand advocacy, because relationship selling, now companies are moving from the traditional prospecting and lead generation to relationship selling. So for instance, today I had a session with a company, and the focus was relationship selling. Why? Because they are struggling to make revenue from new businesses. Meanwhile, they've got over 32 retainer clients that is giving them revenue every month. Now, the question is, have you been able to sell other service lines to these existing customers of yours? The answer I got was no. Why then? And they were like, because we already providing A and B service to them. So at the end of every month, they're already paying us. But do they know about B and C service? They said no. Why? Answers couldn't come out. So it means that the relationship with them isn't that better, or I wouldn't say better, but it isn't that good to extend that you would cross-sell or upsell your service. So this is an aspect or one important aspect of relationship that I think that helps company if well observed and if well practiced, because relationship selling is actually the way to go. It's like consultative selling, basically. So that is it.
Okay, so thank you very much. And you raised some very key points. And one of the things I have not looked at relationship selling in the past is the area of crisis management, that you look at relationship as crisis management. But, let me bring you to this point. In the training room, and I have trained a number of people. I think in a year, we train over 2,000 people here at MGA. And one of the questions or the statements that you get from, salespeople when you are introducing or getting them to adopt the relationship selling approach is that I have targets. And for instance, you made a comment that said that telling them the truth, even if it means that you will lose the business, even if it is tough. So relationship selling that is saying that tell them the truth. Let them know that no, I can do it. My company cannot be able to provide this service to you. We don't have these capacities. So a competitor might be able to solve this for you. And even I know this competitor who can provide this solution for you. That is what relationship selling, preaches. It preaches how to build trust and credibility with your customers. Now, my question is this, and that's a question they ask. I have numbers to meet. Why should I explore the environment of honesty, consistency, and reliability, which forms the foundation of a lasting sales relationship?
Yeah.
I need to convince them. I need to get them to buy. I have numbers to meet.
Yeah.
So how do we navigate this for our sales teams?
That's quite a tough question and an interesting one. I'll use myself as an example. I have worked in almost all the industry or the sectors in the country, and I always tell people, today I'm selling apple, tomorrow I'll be selling mango. And if I start selling mango, who am I going to sell it to? It's the same prospects or clients that I've served in the past. And imagine if I have a lot of disgruntled customers, how am I going to sell to them? Okay, so in sales, there is actually this popular saying that trust is the currency. Trust is the currency. Without it, no deal, relationship, or long-term growth is possible. Think of trust like a bank account. Okay, every honest or genuine action is a deposit into that account. Now, any broken promise, any failure is a withdrawal. Your goal as a salesperson is to keep that account in surplus so that client feels very confident relying on you. I'll use another example, my lifetime experience. I remember back when I worked as a sales and a client consultant with one of the leading distributors of Sage and SAP software in Ghana and West Africa. We handle ERP, payroll, and HR solution. This is a serious tool that runs business day-to-day activity. One client actually needed some help with their ERP rollout implementation. So when it comes to implementation, we have how it is being handled. When we implement your products, your software, and it's settled down, we hold your hand for 3 months. After that, we no longer have anything doing with you. Any other thing requires that you pay us for support or service. So after all these things, I then engaged the client, one of our clients, who actually needed help with their rollout. And I then assured them that I will walk you through the process for at least extra 3 months. Some of my colleagues thought that I was overcommitting, but I was very consistent and I committed to checking in, following up, and solving any issues. Okay. At the end of it all, the client called me and he was like, Jerome, I didn't just, buy software from you. I found a partner I can rely on. And it was so surprising that I got extra 2 recommendations. And I can even mention the name of the institution I got the recommendation. Very top company. They were all banking sector businesses. Okay. And the software at the time cost $10,000, and it was huge. So it tells you the power of trust. It tells you how trust can catapult you as a salesperson. So, and understand a lot of salespeople, they are so concerned about meeting target, dumping products on you without thinking about the end result of it. And we have moved from that because the industry is now sophisticated. Consumers are now empowered and more powerful. Any least mistake you do, the words are out there, and it might damage your brand or your personality as an individual. So I wouldn't even recommend anyone to have that mindset. So you as a salesperson, that is why it is very good as a salesperson to have a very solid pipeline. Pipeline in the sense that at least if you have a very solid pipeline and you are not meeting your target, then there is a problem. This is another area because as a salesperson, the only way you can be making revenue or closing deal is to have healthy pipeline.
But Jerome, let me stop you small there. And always when I do these interactions, I say I'm talking for my fellow salespeople and the people who are listening. These are our companies. They don't care about the pipeline. They want the results. They want the numbers. And yet still, and this is a very serious situation because I consistently have people saying that, how do we navigate this? I don't know if you understand. And,
I get it.
And I get the solution is the pipeline.
Yeah.
But I'm just stopping you so we can explain it better. Because people don't get it. People don't get the whole environment of and consistently you have salespeople, you have employers pushing for for us to look at aggressive selling. Come and teach them how to sell and force themselves on clients, get the business at all costs. And these are some of the solutions I think we can then provide for them in this space of relationship selling. Why honesty, consistency, and reliability becomes the bedrock of relationship selling.
Okay. So you see, when it comes to relationship selling, trust and credibility, it's key. Now, let's take honesty for instance. Honesty means that say what you can do and admit what you cannot. I'll give you another example. There was this company that engaged my expertise the last time, and they actually had spin test. And so they contacted me. That was about 2017. And they actually, I was in the HR business, recruitment support services. So they wanted us to help them recruit some hospitality staff for them across the chain of restaurants. They had over 50 chain of restaurants in the country. So they needed us to help them. So I look at the requirement of the task. Sincerely speaking, at the time, it was a good money and it will keep my team busy and it will make some money and also provide some service. But when I look at the nature of the job, I had to open up to her and tell her that, Henrietta, this will be tough because we don't have a specialty in that area, but I have a company, a friend's company, that's recruitment for hospitality industry only. So she requested that I share the contact detail, and I was very transparent. And she really recognized and appreciated my sincerity and genuineness towards her. So when I did that, she was like, Jerome, I still want you to be involved in this because I trust you. So I was actually involved in the whole process. Even though we got someone on board, she still wants me to be involved in the process. And this was something I did at no fee. And upon that, she started giving me other projects, other gigs. So you could see the end result of what trust and credibility brought. And even the company I recommended and brought on board, we developed some sort of partnership. And they also started giving us some other business that was way beyond them or that doesn't fall within their portfolio. And interestingly, when that HR who contacted me and needed my service and we couldn't provide, she left the company and started working in another business. She contacted me and gave me another business with the current company she was at the time. So this should tell you how powerful trust and credibility is. Now, you can decide to ignore them, but it will come and bite you. That's why it's very important.
Let me give you this example, and just for the benefit of our audience, just another example to support what you're saying. And one of the things that happened was this: there's this company that I had done a project for, so I did the training, 250,000 Ghana cedi, good money. We collected the money, we did the training, and we were training for a bank.
Yeah.
But if you look at the structure of the training and how it was delivered, received, the impact was next to zero. And it was good money. So the MD was changed and a new MD came in. And this is one company doing it for the other. So company A is doing it for the bank and wants to do the same training. Obviously, they came back to me. And at this time, the figure had gone up to about 276,000. Good money for me. Easy, I've done it before. I just needed to run it another 8 days, and this money is for me. And then I called for a meeting with the MD. And I went to the MD. I said, no, I can't run this training. And he says, what? Abba, you just did it last year. I said, yes. I did it last year. And the reason why I can't run this training is because I didn't see any value that your company got from that. It might be an annual thing on your books, but I don't believe that is the best way to go. And then I proceeded to give my basis for it. So he actually invited the head of sales and marketing, invited the head of finance, and then, for us to have a meeting, that this is what Michael is saying, and blah, blah, blah. And he says he cannot do it. And like everybody was looking at, were you correct? This is.
I know, right? Happy.
I'm talking about this huge money, and you want that to go? Just do it and go your way. We have asked for it. And you realize that because the head of sales and marketing was the one that proposed it, he was eager to make sure the thing happened. And so I asked MD, you know what, if you like, check this parameter, check that, check the books, and see if what I'm saying is not the truth.
Yeah.
It took about 1 week. Now, MD calls me back and he says, Mike, you know what? You know I'm new here. I say, yes. He says, okay, I want you to work with HR. Now, so that you can work out which trainings would be good for my team.
Good.
So now one training becomes a whole program.
Yeah.
Find a solution when it comes to capacity building for my team. And sometimes I tell people that, let me show you something. You just don't get that business. You get a company that you can build a relationship with into the future. And I guess that sometimes the problem is that sales has been seen as a funnel.
Yeah.
And we've not shifted away from that. But let me push your mind also to one statement you made in your introductory remarks. That people want to buy. They don't want to sell, to be sold to. And juxtaposing that with another statement you made, that now, you see, the modern buyer is different from the type of buyers we used to have. They have more information, they are able to cross-check, they have a variety of options. And so if people buy, what role does relationship play or relationship selling play in getting them to buy and rather not to be sold to? I don't know. Are you with me here? Hello, Jerome. I think I see your video as frozen. Jerome, are you online? Hello, Jerome. Are you okay now? You are
Sure.
muted. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Great. So, how do we get people to buy rather than we selling to them?
So the modern buyer wants to still have control. So you see, sales itself has changed in a way that if you don't observe it very well, you wouldn't notice. Sales have moved from just trying to convince people to more of educating. Okay, so people want to be lead on and given the opportunity to make the choice. Now, salespeople today wants to influence you, push you, and also get the product deep down into your truth. That is why that quote came about. So they actually don't want to be sold to. They love to buy. They love to buy. Now, how can you make them develop that love for you? How can you do that? Now, you have to, first of all, try to educate them and inform them. That is why relationship selling or consultative selling is very important. It's just like you going to the hospital. Now, when you go to the hospital, what happened? They take your vital, get certain information from you. Perhaps you might be going there for the treatment of headache, but the headache might be just a symptom to something else. So when you go there, the fact that you are going there for the treatment of headache does not necessarily mean that your problem is headache. Maybe there might be a deeper cause to, there might be a deeper, need to you than just the headache. So you are diagnosed and you are being given prescription. That is when you would come to a fulfillment that, oh, okay, so actually I'm not having headache. Headache is just a symptom to a malaria or something. Same applies to selling. So selling, you have to find ways and means to journey with a client, let them appreciate every step you are taking to tailor a solutions to them. And how do you come about? You have to educate. And how do you educate? You have to initiate an interaction, a conversation with them. Now, we as individuals, we are all creatures of emotion. And as creatures of emotion, there is, in psychology of selling, there is this theory or there is this study that indicates that in sales, there are two types of the brain. We have the logical brain, then we have the emotional brain. Now, your emotional brain is like the heart, the decision maker. Now, the logical brain is just like the head. Okay. Now, so you have to be able to convince the emotional desire of the person. And emotional desire is basically about the feeling, trying to promise the person some sort of comfort, reliability, some sort of partnership, some sort of consistency. Okay. Basically, this is how you can be able to get someone to take a decision and would want to buy and do business with you, instead of the usual approach where you try to push, try to convince the person. No, that is what the quote is just trying to signal to us, that no, people hate to be sold to. You don't have to sell to me. Me, if I'm here, when you come, that's why as soon as a salesperson visits you, you are trying to find reasons and means to object, to let them excuse you are not interested, because people come with that pre-notion, okay, I'm coming to sell. And basically, selling is our exchanging of
But is
service
that
or
not a dangerous thing? Anytime you go and then they are shutting the door on you. Oh, I'm a salesperson. You say, no, no, we don't want to see any salesperson. I don't want to. And I think those concepts started with the door-to-door salesman. You know how sales started. It was more of a door-to-door operations, and people resisted that, and they've been resisting it up to today.
exactly.
Nobody
Do you
wants
know
to be
why?
sold to.
Yeah, people, yeah, exactly. Because when you look at the record or the history of selling, selling officially entered the book for a bad reason. Selling officially was recorded based on a bad reason. There were these Chinese and India salespeople who started selling what we call the snake oil. So there is a theory about the snake oil. So the snake oil, basically, these guys came together in America. So they were working within the railway lines and they were looking for ways and means to make money. So they came up with something they call the snake oil. And to them, this was their pitch at the time that this snake oil, what it's going to do to you is when you smell it on your skin, it will cure you from all rheumatism and any other related diseases. And it had a very sharp burning sensation. So when you apply it on your skin, what happens to you? You feel that burning sensation, and they'll conclude telling you that yes, it is working. That it's a sign that the oil is working. So with time, they later discovered that no, these people are lying to us. So and it spread as wildfire. So a lot of people got a glimpse of it and they were so not happy. So officially, this entered into the book that hey, there are some people selling an item, and so for that reason, there's this development that no, salespeople lie, salespeople are not good people. So anytime, so that's how this perception about sales. Okay, so we have a lot of work to do to try to demystify some of this perception about sales. And to today, we still have people who are, practicing sales wrongly because they are using all means just to push and dump the product on you for money. Because and I don't blame them because you find yourself in an organization where you have a very heavy target on you. You have to meet your target at all costs. So what do? You use all means. You use all Chuck Norris means, all acrobatic means just to find ways, to push product. And it is bad. And it is actually destroying the sales profession. And I think it's high time we start developing project programs just to bring all these people under one umbrella and also get the necessary stakeholders so that they appreciate the sales profession, so that at least we have some sanity in the system because it's actually not good. And as you said, it is what it is now. But
yeah, so I think that MGA, my team, and myself, and thankfully people like you, I see Dr. Alex Asma also online, have been contributing in these conversations and basically taking control of the narrative and sending this information out there. Now, let me come to this subject matter, because you see the biggest selling point for relationship selling is not just the sale. Otherwise, all forms of selling would have been okay.
yeah,
But one of the biggest selling points is that long-term relationship,
yeah.
creating value beyond the sale.
Yeah.
How do we do that?
Okay, so now many salespeople actually think that the job actually ends when money change hands. No, that is when relationship selling actually starts. And so as soon as you exchange money, in fact, that is where the job actually starts, but it doesn't end there. So creating value means that showing your client you are more than a seller, you are a partner. And how are you going to create the value beyond just the sale? First, you need to do these three things. Offering insight even when it doesn't benefit your client. And I can give you an example. I was once working into, that was 2017, an HR firm. Okay. So we provided a recruitment service to them and we're managing their staff. That was actually the objective of our task. But after closing the deal, I kept in touch, sharing tips. If anything spring up in the industry, if there is any trend, if any idea comes up, or let's say we are dealing with another client and there is an issue and we're able to solve it and there's a development I wish sharing with them, I share that insight with them because I feel it's very important to keep them up to date with some of this insight, even though I know it will not benefit me and they are not even paying me for that. So that is one of the things you have to do, offering insight. Then two, stay in touch after the sale. You always have to stay in touch after the sale. Because I remember we had an issue with a client some time back. They purchased a software from us. And you see, when I was with a software company, when we sell a software, you either sign up on annual support or hourly support. Now, when you sign up on annual support, you're entitled to 3 site visits. But often we don't even do the visit because we have the money. So it got to a time the attrition rates were very high. So we have to initiate some scheme, courtesy call visits, to be paying visits to the clients to find out what exactly was the problem. And we realized that they had issue with support and they were not calling us. And we thought that they were okay. But to them, they expect us to be showing up and calling and checking up on them. So that was actually some lapses. And we lost a lot of deals. So since then, we institute a program where quarterly, monthly, weekly, we have a consultant in-house who check up and take the job of that person is just to take feedback, complain. How is the software doing? Do you have any challenges with the software? Is there anything we can do with the software? So you always have to stay in touch, even after the sale. Always stay in touch, even if you know the person likes and don'ts, or let's say the person is a soccer fan. You have to be sharing updates, even if it is not really about work. Then the third one is you have to position yourself as a trusted advisor, not just a vendor. You have to, no matter what. And that takes a lot of deliberate effort and consistency. And so basically, these are some of the things I think that one can do to create even value beyond sale.
And then I heard you on you being a trusted advisor, and sometimes I tell salespeople, in order to become a very good salesperson, then you must be a smart person. You must be learning, you must be reading, you must be consistently developing yourself. You must understand the industries of the customers that you do business with. You must listen to news, not only in the industry you are operating, but in the industries of the customers that, and so you cannot give knowledge when you do not have.
Exactly.
You cannot advise when you yourself do not have the knowledge. And so you find out that a lot of salespeople, after first degree, 16 years, 20 years after school, they've not added any new knowledge. And we say we are busy, we are running the numbers, we are trying to meet the targets. And employers also are not demanding it of them. And therefore, sales become stagnant, and it becomes difficult to now fulfill one cardinal, purpose for relationship selling. How do you become that trusted advisor? Would the customer come to you anytime they need that type of service, or they'll be running to your competitors or other people? And thank you for that. But before we proceed, I just wanted to re-announce to all those who are here that the MGA series, webinar series, happens every month. The FGA webinar series happens every month, and we do not want to miss any month at all. And so do not miss out. Before, or when we started, I indicated that now we'll be giving out certificates to those who participate. So the whole session lasts for an hour and a half, which is enough for you to earn a certificate. Some of us are professionals within various environments. We can then use these certificates as our CPDs, and so that you can consistently come in and join us to have these conversations. And this MGA series is brought to you by the kind courtesy of MGA Consulting, your fastest growing and leading management consultancy firm. And when it comes to sales and marketing, please look no further. We have a solution for you. I would also be announcing at the end, we have an upcoming training on relationship selling. An upcoming training on relationship selling. Don't leave, we'll give you the details. David, if you are ready. Yeah, so we have an upcoming training with relationship selling. I think that the topic is winning with relationship selling. It is happening on the 4th, from the 4th to the 5th. And I will be taking participants through the full gamut of building a strong relationship selling program. We already have questions coming through. So one of the things, Jerome, I'll be doing is that as we continue the conversation, we would be also taking some questions. And the first one came through YouTube from one of the participants, John Barnes. John Banks, I used to work with. John Banks worked with me some years back, and now he's a very, very big man. John Banks says that, and that's the question from John. He says that how should management evaluate the health pipeline to assess the sales team performance? So he's looking at how should management evaluate I'm sure the pipeline health or the health of the pipeline to assess sales team performance. I would want you to take a swipe at it, and then I would also come in here. We will be officially taking questions at 4 o'clock. However, if you have a burning question, please push it through and we will deal with it. So, Jerome, John wants to know, how do you evaluate the health of the pipeline?
Okay, so a pipeline basically is like your dashboard. Let's say you have a car, okay? If you have a car and you are driving, your dashboard at a glance gives you an overview and how your car is performing. So let's assume that your dashboard is not working. It means that your car is not roadworthy. It can't be on the road. So the dashboard basically gives you a brief health status of your car. That is what the sales pipeline is all about. So any organization that has got sales team and they don't have a pipeline in place, it means that they are losing out very big. Now, how can you be able to evaluate the health of a pipeline? Now, there are certain basic components of a pipeline, very basic component of a pipeline. Now, I believe you already know what the composition of a pipeline are. So I wouldn't, go there. But you see, a pipeline has certain elements that moves frequently. Aside this element, a pipeline should have the name of the company, that's the lead, okay, the contact person of the company, the role or the position or the designation of that contact person, the email address of that contact person, the contact number of that contact person, the product or service that is being proposed or sold to the contact person, okay? Then the last contact. When was the last time you contacted the person? And when was the first time you contacted the person? Then the value of the service or the product. Then we go to remarks. It's so many, but it depends on your setup. Now, the last date you contacted the person can give you how healthy the pipeline. So for instance, when I pick a pipeline, that's one of the things I look at. So if you have, let's say, 50 leads in the pipeline, and I realize that the last time you contacted or the latest contact, okay, the latest date is about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, the pipeline, one, isn't healthy. Two, if you don't have the value of what is being proposed or being sold to a particular prospect, your pipeline isn't healthy. Now, every week, at least every week, depending on the product you are selling or the service, some services are very expensive. So for instance, the software I was dealing with, one software costs not less than $10,000. So you can imagine, you can't be closing that deal every month. You are not a magician. So one thing that you need to do is every time your pipeline needs to be warm, meaning that every week you should be able to introduce not less than 50 leads, in your pipeline. So if a month I take your pipeline and the first contact seems to be still the old one, there are no new addition, and it's not up to 50 in a week, your pipeline isn't healthy. Okay, so these are examples of things you have to look out for that would help you tell if a pipeline is healthy or not. And your last comment, so what is the next plan of action? So if your next plan of action is not action-oriented, it is not healthy. Okay, now that is why it's very important to sign up for the next training with MGA Consulting Limited. I believe with that, we are going to delve deep in detail and how you can even practicalize it. And also, I believe we'll share even a template with you that you can equally adopt. Okay, so basically, that is what I can share with you for now. Over to you, Mr. Isaac.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jerome. And just to let you people, let our listeners know, Jerome is one of the, renowned sales trainers around. And we are happy to claim him that he trains on the MGA platform and he interacts with a lot of our customers also. And Jerome, I know it is going to come up, but I need to talk about it now since we're talking about you, because Jerome has a book coming out. He has a sales book coming out. We'll talk about it, shortly. And we should, be ready for it. I was asked to do a forward for one book, and I was telling the author, a friend of mine, that let me show you something. I'm proud of you. To think about it, to go through it, and to put it down on paper so you can impact the next generation takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of commitment to do that. And Jerome, some of us are waiting. Although I have an earlier peek at the book, but I'm sure that our listeners, once the book comes out, they would get copies to that. Yeah. But John, let me just put it down to three things, right? One, a healthy pipeline. One starts from the consistency of flow of leads into that pipeline. So that's the first thing. Are they consistently adding new businesses into the pipeline? Are they meeting new people, new prospects? Are they processing, qualifying them, and adding them to the pipeline? That is the first thing. So if they are not adding, then your pipeline is not healthy. And you want to be able to resolve that. You want to be able to build systems that can allow you to resolve that. And that takes you to lead generation and prospecting. And it's a very key thing that you need to do. The second thing that is important is that, Jerome was describing the various stages in the pipeline. Are they moving in the pipeline? So whatever lead you have should not be static. It should be moving. And we call it a pipeline. And for every, pipe, if it stands, it becomes stale. It starts to smell and it becomes unhealthy. And so what you want to do is that the leads should be flowing. So if today is at this stage, the next time we look at it, it should go to the next stage, and you should be seeing the various leads moving within, the pipeline. That is the second thing you want to check. And then the third and key thing is the distribution of the, leads within your pipeline. You know that at the beginning, it will be a lot more. But as you come down, so you set limits. And like as Jerome is saying, usually what I do in my sales training is that I share simple templates on these things. I'm actually building the software with one IT person, company, InnoSol Solutions, InnoSol Limited. Yes, we're building a software where I'm bringing all my experiences, the Ghanaian environment to bear, and hopefully in a year's time we should be done. And salespeople in Ghana can also have a sales software that would help them manage sales within their various organizations. And the pipeline management is going to be a key aspect of that software. And so the even distribution. And when we talk about the distribution also, you see, the initial stages, meeting, presentations, proposals might be more. But as you move down, so you said, okay, this one is 50, that one is 40. At this stage, it should be 20. At this stage, it should be this and should be that. So that you are measuring that consistently, the numbers that you have set. And the numbers are dependent on the type of customers, the type of clients you have and the industry that you operate within. But let's have discussions. Fortunately for you, you have direct access, so it's good for you. Now, there's another question that came from Kenneth Daniel, and I want us to look at it because I think it fits into what we are describing now. Kenneth says that, just a moment, sorry. Kenneth says that as a salesperson, your role involves acquiring new customers and retaining existing ones. I believe that relationship selling is often emphasized for retaining clients and leveraging referrals. But for some new in sales without an existing network, how can we apply relationship selling principles to acquire brand new customers beyond relying on referrals? And so I'll answer the first part and then you will take the second part, which
Okay.
is, yeah. So because the first one is the easiest, that's why I want to take that one.
Oh, no
And
problem at all.
the answer to you, Kenneth, is that no, relationship selling is not only about retaining existing customers and referrals. The relationship selling is a whole process from beginning to end. That is how you should be selling. And in the relationship selling class, that is one of the things we are going to do. We'll take you through the entire process from lead generation. And in fact, when you are prospecting or lead generating and you are using the relationship selling approach, it's different. The way you address it is different than if you are using a different form of approach. So it talks about the full spectrum. But I'll leave Jerome to respond to the next one, which says that if the person is new without an existing network, how can we apply relationship selling principles?
Okay, that's quite an interesting question. As you rightly said, relationship selling isn't just for retaining existing clients. It goes beyond that. It's actually from the starting stage. So let me say that in our part of the world, to be precise, selling is heavily influenced by two things. Selling is heavily influenced by two things. One is referral and recommendation. Two is relationship. So that is why it is very difficult for people who are not relationship oriented, find it very difficult making sales. So if you want to sell to a new person with that orientation, it's very difficult. So that's why initially you even made mention that most company or most business come from referral, and it is true. Now, how can a new business, a salesperson who has got no clientele, use relationship or build relationship? I'll use myself as an example. I once visited a company for a first time to sell, and it will interest you that as soon as I got into the room, the gentleman or the CEO I met was actually wearing a Manchester jersey. And prior to a day before that meeting, Manchester had the match and they were quit mercilessly. So when I met him the first time was I just started a conversation around that. I started a conversation laughing at him, just trying to crack a joke. Then he opened up. He then opened up to me. So that was just like an icebreaker. I have to establish relationship. That was the first time I was meeting the person. So I used that as a yardstick or as a roadmap in entering into the person's space. So we started laughing. We cracked joke here and there, and we moved and transitioned to the next stage while I was there. Then I introduced myself and also made mention of the purpose, the reason why I came around. So we had a conversation. At the time I met him, really they had no need for that service, and I didn't push it. So once a while, I engaged him. Anytime Manchester play matches and they win or something, I send him an update. Hey, boss, Charlie, you people today you score. Congrats, well done. So I was building a relationship because you have to make sure that you have some sort of connection with the person before you can be able to sell. And a lot of salespeople, they are so pushy that they want to push the product no matter what. And if the person has got no need, and you see, first, you have to build that trust. The person hasn't seen you before. That's why if it's not recommendation or relationship, it is very difficult to sell. So these are some of the approach that I would recommend new salespeople to use. You have to first, that's why it takes time. So even when you establish a contact with a person, your follow-up shouldn't be more of following up on the sale, but rather following up on business and life and find out how business is faring. Is there anything we can do to help? Anyway, I just contact you to touch base with you and see if there's been any development. But just have a good day. You don't have to be a nuisance to them, because sometimes the follow-up can be so annoying. So once a while you check up or you see their status or something happen, an update with regards to what you are selling. You share it with them. You have to build that rapport. You have to make sure that you are trying to close that gap so that you can easily cross yourself to that next stage where you realize that now I have some sort of relationship with the person. Now I can push. Okay, so Kenneth, basically that is how you do it. I believe that Mr. Abio would, if Mr. Abio has anything to add to it, why not? I'll be glad.
There's a lot to add, Jerome. Just that we have to take other questions. And so, Kenneth, I would advise you to read and also get in touch with us. Follow our social media pages. We post a lot of content, and it's good for you to be able to get updated on some of these content. And we do a lot of free stuff. I think on our website, you would, if you follow us on our website, you would be able to get some of the training slides on relationship selling and on various topics. When you follow our YouTube page, you would be able to get a number of the videos that we have. When you go to my personal page also, you'll get a lot of content there. So please get in touch and let's keep this conversation going. Just know and understand that relationship selling is for everybody, and it's the new way to sell. There's a question here from Francisca Ansah. Francisca says that this discussion is very interesting. I work for association with members. As part of building relationship, we pay visits. But most of the time, the moment they see you, their response is, you are here for dues and subscription. It sometimes makes you feel bad, even though the dues must be paid. How do we handle this?
It's interesting. Oh yeah, then it means that the association has a lot of work to do in order to communicate the value they are selling. That means that the members haven't been able to realize any value proposition from the association. And I belong to other association where members make similar comments, and that usually happens when the association hasn't been able to develop any program or portfolio that would make the members appreciate the effort of the association in terms of. So it depends on the objective of the association. So what's the objective of the association? Aside having membership, is the association to inform, educate, and also keep members up to date with the current trends in their space? If that is it, what is the association doing? It means that the association is not doing a lot of work when it comes to that. So when it happens to you are paying for dues, the question you ask yourself, what am I even getting from the association? But if the association, let's look at what MGA is doing. MGA every month has been so consistent with this series. So imagine if they are to be charging for it, even 1 CD or 2 CDs. It will be what a lot of people will jump onto it. But this is going for free. So if you're an association, how often do you have such session? How often do you check up on your members? How often do you make the welfare needs of your members a priority? You have to look at all these things, because you see, when you are selling, you should know that you are helping the prospect or the client. The association is in the business of sale. You are selling something in exchange for their money. So the question is, what are you selling? Is it just membership, or there is other service offering that comes with it? If that is the case, then you might have not communicated the value enough, or you might have not programmed your regime service offering or portfolio enough to them, that's why they will definitely complain. Imagine you have an association where full paid members have access to a discounted access to Melcom, okay, or let's say they have a discounted healthcare policy. When I visit a hospital, at least with the card, I have a discount. When I visit an eye center, I have a discount because I belong to an association. What innovative products have you been able to put in place that benefit the association? So it becomes very difficult, and it is a legitimate concern or question. That is why, as an association, so you shouldn't see it as a dent on the association. You shouldn't be, so depressed. It means that you have to sit down with your team and look at it. And sometimes it's also nice to solicit feedback from them.
But Jerome, I even want to prescribe a very simple solution to this their problem. And Francisca, this is very simple. What I need you to do is this. After you have collected your dues, go and visit again.
Yeah, good.
Go and visit and say, I'm coming to check on your business. I'm coming to see how business is doing. Whoever that said this will not say it again. And once you keep on doing that, it's then becomes that, oh, this is the normal thing you do.
Yeah.
So put it in your program that for every member of ours, we'll visit twice a year, and visit those twice a year, whether dues has been paid or not. And then you realize that mentality will start changing. Members will say that, oh yeah, they were in my office last week. Oh, they came to visit last month. Oh, they came. This is a usual thing that they do. Now it becomes something that is very usual. I have friends who, I have like some of the people I trained. They call me. Oh, I was in the neighborhood. I mean, that's what I do. Oh, I was in the neighborhood. Oh, I was in the neighborhood. I was in the neighborhood. But sometimes I leave my house specifically to visit that client. But I saw I was in the neighborhood, I chose to just pass by. And because you have been doing it, when you need them and you go to them, it doesn't become that you are coming for business. It means you are coming for your usual visits. But I have a comment here from Charles Dakwa. Charles says that thank you, Team MGA, for organizing this insightful session. In this era of digital marketing, often referred to as social or mobile marketing, which started around 2010, how can sales professionals effectively balance building successful long-term relationships with customers while also meeting or exceeding sales targets and driving revenue growth without compromising the authenticity of the relationship? This is a whole PhD on its own when it comes to relationship selling. But I think what Daniel is bringing out is this: in this environment where everything is going digital, how are we able to still build relationships?
Okay, sure. So let me use myself as an example. I started my sales career in 2011. And in 2011, the traffic situation in town wasn't that intense as what we have now. In that year, I can have over 5 different in-person meetings, okay, because the traffic situation wasn't that bad. Now, in a day, I barely have one in-person meeting. Sometimes traveling to Tema to meet a client to have a meeting and coming back. By the time I get to the office, I'm so exhausted that the rest of the day is gone. But what has changed now is the emergence of technology. Okay, technology, when it is used wisely, it's good. Okay, technology supports relationship, but rather it shouldn't replace them. Okay, so just think of technology as a bridge while human connection remains the glue. Let's look at what we are having here. We are using tech, we are using a tool. Initially, it would have been in person, would have been having physical audiences and an instructor standing in front of you. But this has been made possible. And I believe that what we are even having looks real, we are connecting with you, we are touching base with you, we are responding to your question. You can feel us, you can see us, you can see the gestures, you can see the facial expression. So platform like LinkedIn, Instagram, let let you engage, just like what's happening now. So,
But Gerald, for me, I see it as it is even enhanced our
exactly,
relationships and engagements. Because
exactly,
now I can sit in my office and have 5, 10 meetings.
exactly.
I can wake up in the morning and say hello to about 20, 50 of my clients. I
Yeah,
can have some information and write up knowledge that I think will benefit my clients, and I can send it to 1,000 people with just a press of my finger. Now I can touch base with a lot more people. Just
exactly.
that you don't replace the face to face with
Yeah,
online or digital devices. Once a while, you
exactly.
need to have that physical interaction as we move on. And sorry
Exactly.
for rushing. It seems we're running out of time, and the questions keeps coming in. I have one from Bismarck Danson. Bismarck says that I'm not a salesperson. I am an audit, risk, and compliance expert, and I'm happy I joined this training. However, how can non-salesperson use these concepts to help their organizations?
So every person in an organization has a role to play in a sales.
Mm,
Okay, the accountant, the general manager, the front desk person, the admin, we all have key roles we play in enhancing the customer journey. Okay, so irrespective of your role, you have to be customer and salesperson oriented. I deployed a program for a company recently, and as part of their strategy, we have to orient every staff, irrespective of your portfolio, to be sales oriented. And one of the things we did, or I did with them, was to change their culture and make it more sales oriented. And this is what we did. So I did a mystery shopping with them, and I noticed that when you visit the office and there's no one at the front desk and you are seated, any staff that enters care less about you. They don't ask you question. They just pass by, they go. And so you'll be sitting waiting for the front desk person to come. Then you present or they'll ask you why you are here. Until then, no one responds to you. So that was one of the things I discovered. And this happened because most of them are not sales oriented and do not know the importance of relationship selling. So even internally, because they don't know, it's becoming an issue. So I had to orient them. Every person, irrespective of your role, if you see someone even sitting at the front desk and you are entering, the onus lies on you to engage the person if they've been attended to. If not, find out what their missions are. What can you do to help them? That in itself is a way of using relationship. It's a way of trying to position yourself. If you're an accountant, whatever. Now, as an accountant or an audit officer, you have a task to play.
And
Okay.
Jerome, sorry for being cutting you because I want to touch a lot more questions before our time is up.
Okay, sure, sure.
But Bismarck, just as Jerome is saying, relationship selling is for everybody, and most organizations now are converting to be what we call
Yeah.
market-oriented or sales-oriented organizations, where the responsibility to build these businesses for every staff. I recently was negotiating on a training, and they are just on relationship selling, and they are bringing me just this group of people, and I'm looking at the number, and it's about 8 people. So I tell them that, let me show you something. If the MD is available, I want MD to join. I want GM to join. I want these people. Because why? I think that all of them need the relationship selling approach, even the HR. Everybody must come in, and I'm ready to do that for free for the same price of the 8. I'll do it for the entire team. That is how important building a sales or marketing oriented organization is. And all of you need to have that knowledge. And so it is good that you are here. You saw selling, but you still came. It means that you can do well. And one day when you set up your audit firm or your compliance firm, you realize that this session will become very essential to the growth of your private businesses. I have another one here from Dr. Alex Asma, who's a senior brother of mine. Doctor says that the tension between short-term sales targets and long-term relationship is one of the biggest challenges in sales management, especially in banking and insurance, etc. The pressure from management for salespersons to achieve targets at all costs, especially for new salespersons in sales profession, is making them push products without making time to cultivate and maintain the relationship with the clients. Any practical help for both new salespersons and management to appreciate the dynamics of relationship selling and sales management. Let me say this, Jerome. I just wanted to start with this, and say that Dr. Asma, it's a biggest challenge,
Yeah.
and sometimes I beg, I practically beg my employers, people who say come and train my managers or come and train my sales team, to be part of the discussion, so that we can be able to have that realization. When you do a training today and you say this is a sales training, but for only CEOs, like the one that we are trying to organize, you will realize that the CEOs will not come. They will send their officers, and the senior management will not come. And it's a big situation. And that's where these platforms are very good. And that's why a National Sales Leaders Conference was a very good platform to push that agenda. We need to start understanding the environment of selling. So, for instance, I advise my client that when you recruit a sales officer, the first 3 months is for them to understand the product, for them to understand the organization, and for them to build prospects and qualify them, or build leads and qualify them. Quality leads. You must give them time to accustom, to understand, and to relate. But what do? You see in our projections and our strategy, the person comes in today and the person is given a target. Another problem we have had is that we do not know, a lot of organizations do not know target setting.
Yeah.
They don't understand the concept of target setting. Target setting, in its essence, is supposed to be a motivational tool.
Exactly.
But it is not. And it's because we do not understand. So the
Yeah.
second thing that we need to look at is the target setting. And there are various ways to set sales targets. But what do? We only look at outcome. How much money have you brought?
Yeah.
And we don't measure even the pipeline and the quality and the value of the pipeline. And so these are things that we need to. And unfortunately, those who have risen to management didn't have this knowledge. So
Yeah.
some of them do not actually have the knowledge in order to be able to influence management decision or contribute at management meetings. And so we would have to start looking at that environment. And now when we say that we are doing training, and we are doing it for managers, we bring managers. We need to understand that a lot of the managers don't have the knowledge to manage sales.
Yeah.
Because sales management is a specialized area. Some of us teach it. Some of us are building people in it, and we need to start looking at it as a holistic, environment. The other thing too is this: who are we even recruiting as salespeople? Because the mindset has been in the past that salespeople are those who can talk.
Yeah.
But that is not the case. Salespeople are those who can build relationships. And we need to start looking at who are we recruiting as sales officers. If we start doing that, a lot of things will change. And I will be happy, Doc, to have further discussions on this with you. And Doc also says that good delivery, Jerome. I'm enjoying the practical knowledge sharing. And Jerome, coming from Dr. Asma, you should be smiling.
Thank you. I really appreciate the feedback. Thank you, Doc.
And then William Apreku says that, can we have the recording after the seminar? Yes, William, the recording would be available on our YouTube page, the MGA YouTube page. This recording and all our previous recordings would be there. please take time, go in and take a listen to it. Please don't be selfish. If you see it, share it with your colleagues, forward the links to them, and let them also, benefit from these sessions. If you have colleagues in the office that were not part of this session and you believe they should have heard you, if you have a senior officer you think should have heard you, this is a good time to go to the YouTube page and forward the link to them to do that. And please don't forget to like, our page and follow us on our various social media pages. Emmanuel Safo, they say my time is up, so I think I will end with Emmanuel Safo. And Jerome, you see, I was telling you even the 1.5 hours looks
I
to
know,
be
right?
short when we start.
I'm actually enjoying the session myself, so I can imagine,
So Emmanuel Safo says that thank you for the insightful input so far. It's great to hear and learn about such real-world experiences around relationship selling. Please, I want to know what non-sales gesture that has made the biggest difference in your client's relationship. What is the non-sales gesture that you have made the biggest, I guess, that you would say had made the biggest difference in your client's relationship?
Non-sales gesture. Wow. Non-sales
So
gesture.
let me give mine, and maybe you can add yours as you think through it.
Sure.
So I went to this client. I met this client, and we're having a conversation. So I was supposed to deliver a policy. At that time, I was working at an insurance company, and I was supposed to deliver a policy to the client. So I went to his office, and then he said, "Oh, he's just left the office to the house for lunch." And at that time, I had a very simple formula. All my first businesses must be done by myself. No dispatch, no handing over to anybody. I have to hand it over to the client myself. Why? Because I want to be able to understand the client and see if I can get more business from the client. So I told the client that, I don't mind bringing it home if you want me to. The client says, okay, you can come. I went home. He was having lunch. We had lunch together. He was having a cold bottle of beer. I said, I would want to have a cold bottle of beer myself. So I asked the client, can I have one? He says, yes, you can. And then after that, we went to his living room. He had some whiskey there. I'm not asking you to do that, but I'm just giving you my best experience. So he had whiskey. He said, will I take it? I said, yes. And then we basically poured one. And then he was giving me ice. And I said, no, I don't take ice. And from that time, the client said, this is the man I want as a friend.
Okay.
And we became family. It had nothing to do with what, and in fact, he gave me the biggest business of my career, $5 million. Now, I didn't ask for the business. After some few drinks, he then asked me that I have this project. Would you want to manage it for me? And that made a huge difference. And from there, his friends, his colleagues, his acquaintances, all of them now had to come and join the family and bring their businesses to me. And for me, that it was non-sales related. I just became a genuine friend. And his interest was that I knew how to take my whiskey, and that was all. And so I don't know. Let's take yours, and then we can close here.
Okay, so you just reminded me of mine too because of what you how you narrated your story. So mine has to do with a friend I'd worked with in the past. So at the time I had moved on and I was with a travel and tour company. And at the time I joined the travel and tour company, I introduced different portfolio which wasn't part of the company's portfolio. So I introduced accommodation arrangement, car rental, hotel reservation, and flight booking. So with that, the flight booking was something they were doing. So in December, one time in December, we had developed packages for our clients, okay, to be distributed to our client. After the distribution, on my way home, I noticed that one package was left. So I called my friend and I was like, hey, it's been a while we've met. Oh, can we have a drink? And she was very happy because it's been ages. So we met and we had drinks. And after that, I gave her the hamper and I was like, hey, this is actually coming from my company. So I trust that you get us a business. And trust me, in less than a month, she called me and she gave me one project that kind of supersedes the entire company's annual target. That year, we actually stopped working. We got accommodation arrangement. Interestingly, we don't have any facility, we don't have any accommodation. So I quickly rushed to a real estate or an apartment at Cantonment at the time, had an arrangement, became a tenant. We paid for it. Then the client paid us 3 months. So we even added $500 at the time on every monthly rent. Aside that, the client, they came to set up in Ghana. We set them up here. We rented Emporium, an office in an Emporium, Movenpick, set them up here. We gave them 2 vehicles. We quickly rushed to look for money to buy 2 vehicles. I rented it for them. And a day, we rented it for $150. And it was for 3 years. So you can imagine. So it was very huge. The project was just that thing was like, so we stopped working. We practically stopped working and we're just providing service. We stopped selling actually. We're just managing the site. Just one client. We're just managing because they were bringing us more money. So that's how non-sales program or activity brought me the biggest client. I'll never forget that experience. I noticed that the lady even joined because I shared the link, but she's no longer part of. I would have asked her to say something about it, but
No.
I don't think she's part of this.
So, I want to say thank you to you, Jerome. We are way behind time, and I want to apologize to our listeners. We usually end exactly on time. Sales conversations are usually exciting conversations. I want to also apologize to the various questions that have come in, but we were not able to address it. I always say that let's continue these conversations on the various platforms. And David, if you are with me, the first platform I would recommend to you is the MGA WhatsApp platform, where we basically share every single information there. So if you have your phone, if you're not listening to us on the phone and you're listening to us on the PC, please do that. Otherwise, take a screenshot of this. This is our channel, scan it, and be able to join our WhatsApp channel. We have other social media channels also. So please join us also on those channels. David, if you have these ones, or does this channel, yes, this is our social media. Once you scan this, it leads you to all our social media platforms. So please take a snapshot of it on your phone. If you're using your phone, if you're using your laptop, you can use your phone to take a snap at it. We will be coming back to you. Definitely, MGA Dialogue Series will be coming back to you. And it will be on the 24th of September, 2025, 24th September 2025, next month. And we'll be treating strategic HR planning for organizational growth. Strategic HR planning for organizational growth. And you know how we do it. We would only announce the speaker just a few days to time. So please get it logged, put it on your put the date on your calendar. Know that we are going to come your way, and this time we are discussing strategic HR planning. And I'm going to have an exciting, facilitator who will come and have these discussions with us. Can we have the QR code? So if you want a certificate, for this session, please register for your certificate. Sorry, we are bringing it to the end so that people would come in and ensure that we had everybody taking advantage. Let's share on all social media platforms. No, at least those who are here, please scan this, and you would get your certificates in your emails. So scan this for me. Jerome, any last words?
Okay, so first of all, I would want to thank everyone who made it part to join the session. And I would also want to challenge you today that as you go back to your work, ask yourself, am I just selling or I'm building relationship? that will stand the test of time. If you focus on relationship, the sales will take care of itself. Thank you, and I wish you all the very best in building not just clients, but a lasting partnership.
Thank you very much, Jerome. David, please bring the certificate code, QR code again. Bring the certificate QR code, and let's scan that. So please, that is it. Can we put the QR code in the chat area? If we can, let's put it there so everybody can get access to it. But please do it now, and certificates will be available to you tomorrow. And so if you don't do it now, you will not get the certificate for the power of relationship selling. And mind you, every single month will come your way and will bring you exciting content for free. Do well to join our training. Where's the upcoming training? Our next training is coming up on the 4th and 5th of September, and that is winning with relationship selling, and it will be delivered by my good self. So I'm looking forward to you making a date. David, if you can show that, make a date with us, register and attend the upcoming training, Winning with Relationship Selling, and I'll be taking you through the full process. We're expecting CEOs, MDs, commercial directors, sales managers, branch managers, unit heads, key account managers, and client relationship managers. It's supposed to be a gathering of sales leaders. So come and let's learn relationship selling together, 4th and 5th of September. And like I said, I will be delivering it on myself. On the 18th to 19th of September, we will be doing Mastering the Art of Selling. So, Alberta, if you are there, I think I would hand over to you now. Alberta.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen, Mr. Abiu and Jerome. Thank you so much. We've had a very wonderful discussion here today. Mr. Abiu, you know, I have my lead. So from here, I'll make sure that I have this relationship with my people so that I meet my targets always. So thank you very much. Thank you, Jerome, as well. And I know a lot of participants have enjoyed this conversation. And I have to mention that Jerome started with a quotation. Therefore, next month, I believe Francisca will come with a testimony when she visits her association members that the advice Mr. Abiu gave her, she has put to use, and then it has benefited her. And I know a lot of us will apply this as well. I have another good news for you on the power of relationship selling. If you are participating in this webinar today, you have a 10% discount. A 10% discount on our training. So therefore, you can call this number, that is 0200 62 5026, and be part of our training happening this next month, 4th to 6th of September. So you don't want to miss out. Just call us. If you're on this webinar, you have a 10% discount. And I want to say a very big thank you to everyone who joined today. Every month we will come your way from 3 to 4:30, and I believe it's going to be insightful as well. Thank you all, and see you next month.